All right. Well, China and Armenia have established a strategic uh, partnership as President Xi Jinping and Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan met on the sidelines of the SCO summit. This comes as Beijing pushes its Belt and Road Initiative. President Jinping also supported Armenia, which is currently a dialogue partner, becoming an SCO member. All right, Mr. Srivastav, coming to you now, sir. Well, China is obviously dependent on all these countries when it comes to the BRI. And the fact of the matter is that its trade efforts have also been extremely aggressive with a number of these countries which are a part of the SCO. Do you think that India and China, despite the competition they have, to become international hubs of manufacturing, can still get along?
Yes, Vineet, I believe that there is enough space in the world for these two big economies to grow together. And I believe that if that kind of wisdom prevails between India and China, it will be very good. And obviously, the largest populated countries on the planet and their populations will be enormously benefited if such wisdom prevails. But it has to be seen whether this kind of understanding will emerge between the two sides. Having said that, let me just say on the base of it that India, China, both are major economies, major strategic powers, ancient civilizations, and also both are neighbors. And if both the countries can work together, if the dragon and the elephant can dance together, nothing will be as good as this. But only problem is that the kind of behavior which we have seen from Chinese side from time to time puts us in a bind, and it also gives us a lesson that we have to adopt a cautious approach towards dealing with China, and we have to obviously develop our position of strength, our defense posture, our comprehensive national power, because we need our experience, and this new India understands it very well that this China and India-China relationship can be best handled by only position of strength. And this position of strength India is developing. We are not shying away from talking to China. Even after Galwan incident, we kept on, engaging with them through commander level talks, through WMCC level talks. Our engagement with China have gone on despite all the tensions. But the kind of actions which has been taken like this, when the top leadership of both the countries are meeting, that could only be possible when China decided to disengage in last October. And after the Chinese decision to disengage from Depsong and Demchok, Indian Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, agreed to meet President Xi Jinping. So we have stated our position very, very clearly to Chinese side that we will not compromise with our national interest, with our sovereignty and territorial integrity, and you'll have to respect our, our territory. And that kind of, as well as when it came from Chinese side, then only India decided to go ahead with this kind of a top-level meeting, like what is happening today, and like what had happened in October in Kazan, Russia. So I think our position and our understanding with regard to Chinese communist regime and Chinese government is very clear that we will trust, we will engage, but we will verify. Trust and verify. That is the key word. And also another key word which I said, that we have to keep developing our position of strength, because we know about China that China respects power. China respects other countries' position of strength. But the moment you show some kind of a weakness, or the moment you show some kind of a very different approach and a weak approach toward dealing with it, it does not shy away from exploiting it. So we have to know, we have to deal with China with this position of strength, with this verification process that has to be very intense, and then only progress can be expected. So I think our approach towards China is very realistic, Vinit, and this new India understands China very well than the previous times, and I'm very satisfied that this government has dealt with China in all these years, 2014 onwards, in a very, very significant and big way. We are not only deploying our military, the same kind of a deployment which China is doing, but also we have enormously developed our infrastructure. Our infrastructure development program all along LSE has been the key part of developing the position of strength. And also, we have been, trying our best to forge an international coalition to deal with Chinese any kind of future negative intentions. And we have invested enormously in Quad. It is unfortunate to note that the one of the top countries of this Quad formation, United States of America, is not behaving properly, and it will have its own consequences. And United States of America's Indo-Pacific strategy will be enormously, negatively impacted with this kind of aggressive approach towards India. And I believe that the sooner United States of America realizes this, the better it will be, because it will have a serious consequences for U.S. Indo-Pacific policy. So, but having said that, let me come back again to Chinese-India relationship. I believe that this relationship is very significant, a consequential relationship. And if India-China relationship improves, if both the nations could develop a mutual trust and understanding with each other, it will not only be benefiting for both the populations, but also it will give a message to all across the world that if India-China can resolve their disputes, their differences, their misunderstanding through dialogue and negotiations, why not others? Why not democracies can develop such kind of understanding with each other? Why not constructive outcomes could be expected from the various issues the world is facing? So I think it will give a clear message to the whole world, a very constructive message. And let me say at the end of it to your question, that with this kind of visit, which our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is undertaking, we have given a very clear message that India will not compromise its strategic autonomy.
All right. Okay.